The search for Guybrush Threepwood has begun, but this task proved that things inside the Sea of Thieves aren't what they appear to be, as someone we all know could be behind this whole disappearance. As things unfold, we are thrown into new territory, and it all begins to get a little weird? But now that you've liked and subscribed, let's sail on over to Melee Island. The outposts hold a new visitor on the sands. Kate is looking for the supposed famous pirate Guybrush Threepwood in an attempt to bring him to some kind of justice. But as I was speaking with her, the pirate lord decided to show his face, shedding light on the situation and telling us that Guybrush was supposed to arrive here, however was never seen again once he headed out. But with a poster saying 100,000 gold as a reward, I couldn't turn down this opportunity to find him, so I took the offer and the logbook and headed through the portal rocks in search of my gold. We made it through, and soon I was hearing voices. Could it be that Guybrush Threepwood already? And before I could look out for where these voices were coming from, a ship sailed right in front of me. Just married, as it appeared I was now sailing right behind the newly wedded pair, and I was hoping that this would have been the easiest 100k gold ever. But as we sailed towards an island, they were gone, and it appeared to be just a mirage as such, so on we pushed to the island in the distance. We pulled up at the dock, and it turns out I never read the logbook, so I quickly did that, seeing a map of this Melee Island before I started wandering around and exploring this bizarre but honestly wonderful town that I was in. The tavern was messy and filled with the kinds of people that you'd want to drink grog with. The townsfolk were strange, mysterious characters that we wanted to learn much more about, but there was something a little off about all of this, and that was the ghostly guards, stopping people from going further towards the mansion where the governor, aka Guybrush Threepwood, was residing. So now I had to learn how to get past the guard and reach him as they were demanding a pass of entry. A street-side merchant told me of his lost shipments, saying that if I was able to receive them, then I could be given one of these lucky tickets. But where was this shipment? Apparently, according to the townspeople, it had sank just by the dock, and soon after arriving there, I was now prying open the crate with a hammer I found at the jail. Off I went with the ticket, and it turned out that he would not let me pass still until the clock struck midnight. However, it was broken, so now I needed to head off and fix the clock tower so that I could finally pass. This had me going around town, talking to all of the inhabitants, finding out about everybody and everything, and finding as many pieces of 8 as possible, until I finally had 45 and bought a chef's outfit, which I look pretty great in, honestly. Using this, I got myself a job at the Scum Bar, cooking up a large piece of meat, and forcing the locals to drink more until they fell asleep, stealing their pieces of 8 and a clock tower key, so I could get inside and fix things up. In I went and turned the wheel, but as it struck midnight, I spoke to the guard, and he still refused to let me through, saying that he was awaiting his replacement guard. So back out I headed now, giving some poodles a snack as they attacked one of the guards, blew a hole in the jail cell locks to rescue an inmate, took off one of the talking skulls from the bar using a coconut, and creating my own skeletal guard, whilst giving a dog a teddy so that I could get the final bone in order to complete my makeshift bone man. He struggled walking, but eventually we made it to the gate, and as the other guards now signed off duty, I was free to go ahead and find Guybrush in the mansion. As it happened, he was there, and I had to barge through the door, seeing him playing around with toys. And after a short story of his tales, before he fell asleep, I searched around, finding a strange note and bottles of root beer. But as I did, a ship outside sailed in. Heading outside, the ship was sailing up until off came a fierce looking pirate, who goes by the name of LeChuck. Evil, I could tell, but I was ready to take him on, until he pulled out a sword that I recognised and changed into the one we know as the Pirate Lord. Could this really be him? Could we have been fooled the whole time and the Pirate Lord is now showing his true colours? But after he made off to a so-called Monkey Island, I was now faced with ghosts that appeared not to take any damage from my swings, So with a silly idea, I sprayed them with the root beer, and they began to explode. They kept on coming, and soon I had made it to a strange hut in which I was told all of my deeds were done for now, and it was time to sail back to the Sea of Thieves and wait for the next adventure for Guybrush Threepwood. And as this tale came to an end, I was shocked at how much fun I had, going around and finding out all of the information from the townsfolk, finding out ways of getting past the guards, and overall just messing with the inhabitants. But now, there is a question of, can we trust the Pirate Lord? Or was that just LeChuck messing with us and pretending to be him? However, if you enjoyed this, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and like the video, and we'll see you in the next tale. Arrgh!